let's do x squared minus 2x minus 35. Is greater than or equal to 0 again. Greater than or equal to 0. So again, I get your calculator out. So we got to find the zeros. That's pretty much the first thing we got to do. You can go ahead and sketch your x-axis there if you want to. But we got to find the zeros. So y equals x squared minus 2x. Minus 35 and hit graph. Where does it look like that crosses? Close. Negative 5 and 7. You can check that without going to your calculator. If you just go look at your table, what do you got at negative 5 there for your x? Negative 5, 0. So that tells you it is, in fact, where's your other one? If you check 7, is it where? Yeah, so that is the two places where it crosses. X equals negative 5 and 7. So at those 2 points, you don't have to put all those dash marks in there if you don't want to, or if it doesn't help you. I would normally plot 0 wherever it's at. So at negative 5 and 7, for this one, would it be open or closed circles there? Both closed again, since we have the equal to part. And then does this parabola open up or down? Looking at your graph. Opens up, just like the last one did. Might be helpful if you don't, when you sketch it, if you don't make it so straight up and down. Sometimes that helps you see where it's above and below. So are we looking for where the parabola is above the line or below the line for this? What's the inequality say? What is this? A lot of you are going to have trouble because you don't know what that sign is. What is that? It's greater than, meaning above. We want to know where it is above the line, above the x-axis. That's what that means. If it's greater than, that's what we're looking for. So again, your answers are either going to be in here or left and right. So which one is the places where the parabola is above the line? In the middle or left and right? Left and right again, just like the last one was. Again, the parabola is above the line over here. That interval and that interval. If I pick this point, maybe 1, where's the parabola? Above or below? If I pick this point right here, where's the parabola? Above or below? It's below. It's right here. And that's not what we're looking for. We don't want less than 0. We want greater than. So if I pick this point out here, maybe number 9, x equals 9, where's the parabola? Above. And that's what we're looking for. So how would we write this inequality then to illustrate this area over here? It's to the left of negative 5. Less than or equal to negative 5. Greater than or equal to 7 for that side. That tells me the 2 answers, 2 places.
If it opens up, is it always going to be 2 left and 2 right?
Not at all. I'll show you that. So we'll kind of skip to this step. We'll say, here's your x-axis, and we found negative 1 and 4 were the places where it crossed. And let's say our quadratic is less than or equal to, and we'll not even make it equal to illustrate that part if it's not equal to. We'll say less than 4. Or less than 0. We want to know where it's less than 0. So again, I'm skipping way ahead in this problem. I'm not even giving you a problem. I'm just showing you what another answer might look like. So if we drew the same parabola that we've been drawing, if that's what it looked like on your graph. This time, we want to know where it is below. But also, would we have dotted or closed or open circles for this one? Open, because we don't have the equal to under there. So now it's open circles, and we're looking for where it is less than 0 this time. So below the line. That's what less than 0 would mean. So what interval is the parabola underneath this line then? Is it in the middle or left and right? It is in the middle. So here's how you're going to write this inequality. Where are the values? You just said they're in the middle. So they're in the middle of what? In between what? So we got -1 on the left, 4 on the right, and x is in the middle. There's what your inequalities will always be. It's in the middle. It'll always be less than that. Or inequality. Yeah, and you don't even have to do that. I've just been doing that to illustrate where it's at. But this is your final answer. The graph has nothing really to do with the final answer. That's just what you have to graph that in order to be able to see where it is above or below. I don't remember exactly what your question was, but there is no hard, fast rule to say, well, if it's less than, then it's always on the left or the right, or if it's greater, then it's always in the middle. You just have to check every single one and see where it's at, because they can all be different. But that's what your inequality will look like if it's in the middle, and the other two examples we did is what it will look like if it's on the left or the right. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other method, and that might help some of you better see what we're doing here. So again, that was graphically solving, where you're graphing and looking at it. Algebraic is similar, but you don't have to graph in your calculator and find those equals. X squared plus x minus 6 is greater than 0. So what was our first step last time? After we graphed it in our calculator, what were we looking for? What do we always have to find on both of these examples? We have where it crosses. It's the same first step for the algebraic method, except you're not going to graph it. In all honesty, I don't even care if you combine these methods a little bit, as long as you end up, whatever works best for you to end up giving you the right answer. But algebraically, we would find the zeros using some other method other than graphing. We can factor, we can complete the square, we can use quadratic formula, any other method we want to find out where those cross. So I'm going to factor this. We'll put our x's in. What would our signs be? Plus or minus. So we need factors of 6 with a difference of 1. 3 and 2. So we know 3 and 2 are our factors. Which one has to be positive? The 3. Our middle number is positive, our bigger number is positive. So 3 and 2 there. Those are factors. How do we find the zeros then? Set them equal. So if we did that, and we wouldn't even have to, most of us could see x plus 3 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. We're going to get what? Negative 3 and 2 are the zeros. So again, you will sketch it out here. Negative 3, 0, and 2. Just like we did on the other part, we found the zeros, we put them on our number line. But now we're not going to sketch the parabola. That's the part we're not going to do. Are these going to be open or closed circles, though? Both going to be open again. And instead of looking at the parabola like we did up here and seeing where it's above or below, instead of doing that, you are going to put in test points from each interval. So it might be helpful here to split this up. So we're either in the middle, or we're on the left and the right again, just like when we sketched it. So for this inequality, or parabola inequality, what are we looking for? Where it's above or below? It's above, where it's greater than 0. Another word for that would be positive. That's what we're looking for. So what's a point we could pull from this interval, somewhere to the left of -3 to attest, or -4, either way. So we can plug in -4 over here. What could we plug in there that would be easy? 0. And over here we can plug in. And you will plug each value in up here and see which one works. Only either your left and your right will work, or the value in the middle will work in that inequality. I'll switch colors here as I plug these values in. So if we put -4 in there, we would get 16 minus 4 minus 6. Is that going to be positive or negative? It's going to be positive. Positive what? Is 6 greater than 0? So we plugged in a point from this interval that worked. So this is part of your answer. If we put 0 in there, what are we going to get? These are both going to be 0. We're going to get what? -6 is greater than 0. Is that true? No. Doesn't really matter how you show it, but that is not part of your solution then. The other side will be, as far as you guys know, pretty much has to be. 3 squared plus 3 minus 6. +4. Is that greater than 0? Yep, so that's the other part of your solution there. So what places did we just highlight as the answers? In the middle or left and right? So what's our inequality for this side? X is less than -3 and or greater than +2. That is, again, algebraic method. And what I meant when I said you could combine the two, instead of factoring here, if you want to use your calculator to find that, if you want to type that in your calculator and just see what your two zeros are to get those, that would be fine, and then do your intervals. Or if you want to completely do sketching the graph over here, that would be fine as well. I'm going to go ahead and stop notes for those of you who do know what you're doing, and then I'll do a couple of homework problems up here for the ones that aren't quite sure. So over on 298, we'll do 11 through 16. Actually, let's do 12 through 20 even. Those are the graphing and shading. That's the first thing we did. And 21 through 26. We'll do all of those. Those are the ones like we just did. And then 36 through 40 even. These two bottom sections are the ones where you're finding where it's above or below. This top section, 12 through 20 even, that's graph and shade. No, or like I said, you can do the graphing, you can do the interval part, You can do graphically, algebraically, or you could even combine the two, whatever works best for you.
Okay, on that last problem, that last thing, how do you know to put, how do you know whether to put greater than or equal to or less than or equal to?
Here,
Yeah.
as far as the equal to part,
Mhm.
whatever the problem was.
Okay, so it's the same
Yeah,
as the
right,
original.
right. I haven't scrolled up enough yet. Yeah, this one doesn't have the equal to. Your answer shouldn't either.